How do you treat the mistakes of others? This is the theme of today's story. Before we proceed further, click on the link below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, stay connected. So there was a king who had 10 ferocious dogs, and he used those dogs to torture any of his ministers who would make a mistake, give a bad advice, and torture them, kill them. This is how those dogs were used. And it so happened that one of his ministers, who had been serving him for 10 good years with great advices over a period of time, happened to make a suggestion which turned out to be wrong, and the king was furious. He said, "You will get the same punishment which has been meted out to many others." The minister pleaded, "I have been serving you for 10 long years, and you treat me like this. You please pardon me." And the king was adamant. He said, "No, whatever is the rule here, that will happen." And then, since the king was unrelenting, the minister said, "Please give me 10 days time, and after that you can do." King, okay. He said, "Okay, fine. I give you 10 days. Now, for these 10 days, what is it that the minister did? Right on the first day, he reached to the keeper of the dogs and requested him, "Can you allow me to feed these dogs for the next 10 days? Can you allow me to take care of these dogs for the next 10 days? So the keeper was a little astonished, but he was happy because now he had a support. So for the next 10 days, the minister fed the dogs, washed them, cleaned them, played with them, looked after them, and 10 days passed. When the 10 days passed, the minister was called, and those 10 dogs were rushed to him. And then everyone was surprised because none of the dogs attacked the minister. They started playing with the minister. They started licking his feet, right? All that started happening, and king was surprised. What is it? So he asked the minister, "How come they are not attacking you?" And the minister said, "I served you for 10 years and you threw me to these dogs. But I looked after these dogs only for 10 days and they have become my pets." This is where the story ends. Now, what is the lesson that we can draw from this? My lesson is, when you are working with so many people, one aspect is you yourself are not perfect. And similarly, others are also not perfect. And sometimes very innocent mistakes do take place. So what do you do in such a scenario? What do? Do you become very harsh and you go to the extreme of punishment, or do you take consideration of all the things that they have done over a period of time and give them another chance? This is what is very important to understand. Whenever we are working together, there may be a knowledge gap, there may be a skill gap, there may be an understanding gap, there may be an information gap, because of which some decision may go wrong, some act may go wrong, some act may become counterproductive. It happens in our day-to-day lives. But the question is, how do you handle those scenarios? Do you attempt to go to the extreme of punishing, or do you make an attempt to analyze the whole situation, find out what caused these mistakes and how to bridge those gaps so that those gaps are plugged not for once but for all times to come? It's called learning from mistakes, learning from your own mistakes, or learning from the mistakes of others. An organization grows when every mistake is treated as an opportunity to learn and plug some deficiencies or bugs in the system. This is what is the message in this story, and I'm sure you will draw your own lessons and use this story to empower others in your own way. There will be more stories coming.